Bobboi Bala Kaigama's journey into trade unionism could be traced back to a family background where social justice and equity was a mantra. This journey will not be completed without a mention of the tutelage he acquired in student unionism from the university, where he was elected as a liaison officer while serving as a youth corps member. In 1991, Kaigama, who was already secretary of the Association of Senior Civil Servants of Nigeria, ASCSN, by dint of hard work and dedication to the union, rose to become the chairman of the association at its unit level. Still driven by his determination to put to work the knowledge he has garnered in unionism, Kaigama rose to the position of president of the Association of Senior Civil Servants of Nigeria, from where he also sought to be elected president of the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria, TUC, in June 2013. The election, which was held in Abuja, the nation's capital, which he won, was described as one bitterly contested between the Association of Senior Civil Servants and the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, Pengasin. Bobboi Bala Kaigama, poised with the vision to improve on what he met on ground, and backed on an organizational drive by increasing the number of affiliates to 29 trade unions. The leadership of the affiliated unions are all thumbs up for Kaigama as a leader of the Congress.
I'll call his leadership style as a 360-degree leadership style. Wherever you come from or your approach is administrative function, Bobboi Kaigama is always there. The most important one is that he practices what they call leading the talk leadership. Say what you can practice and practice first what you want people to do, and that has been his style. He will be the first person doing it even before asking you to do it. So, first off, as an affiliate of TUC, we have learned a lot from him. We have benefited a lot.
When he assumed office in 2013 up to now that he's bound out from office, he's a leader that brings everybody together. And there are a whole lot of programs that he brought into TUC. Although he may not be able to complete some of those programs, but there are positivity you can take out from his government when he becomes the president of TUC. He tried as much as possible to reform, especially the secretariat. When he came in, there are a lot of roles in TUC secretariat, which he tried as much as possible by setting up various committees to reform the secretariat. And there are also a lot of welfare packages that he introduced in the secretariat. Then with the workers out there, I'm aware that whenever there is any issue with the affiliates, and you take it to him concerning the unionizing of the affiliates, he's always there to assist.
Comrade Bobboi Bala Kaigama, to us in the association, is a thoroughbred professional who does not take no for an answer. He loves the system to move seamlessly, such that at least you can continue to improve on whatever activities you are involved in. And he's also a believer in labor being a social partner and not just a commodity that you can toss here and there. So, and as much as possible during negotiation, he has shown leadership. He has given leadership. He has led by example. He's not the kind of leader that goes inside to sell workers off. No, he doesn't do that. He's a very strong-willed character, and we count ourselves very lucky to have such a character as our national president. He's a bureaucrat par excellence. He allows the secretariat to function, but if there are anything that will resemble things that he does not believe in, you see his other side. So those of us at the secretariat working with him, we are always on top of the situation because we know the kind of leader we have. At the TUC front, I want to believe very strongly that in spite of the challenges, the odds facing that organization, because it's still growing, he has delivered. He has done very well.
One of the major objectives of the TUC is to promote and safeguard the economic and social welfare of its members.
Trade unionism is all about organization. It's all about mobilization. It's all about ensuring that you enlighten your members, protect their rights, particularly things that have to do with their employment, things that have to do with their own promotions, things that will have to do with their own entitlement when it comes to training, retraining. At the trade union side, in Association of Senior Civil Servants of Nigeria, I have trained over 2,000 members of mine within the period I have been at the leadership of the saddle of leadership of association. TUC too, we do local and international training for our members.
Under Kaigama's leadership, many joint campaigns with other centers were executed. The campaigns against corruption, campaigns for the review of the national minimum wage since 2016. He also led TUC affiliates against anti-union activities meted on them by employers. With a professional background in town planning, one of his priorities was to provide decent and affordable housing for Nigerian workers. Its administration therefore embarked on a massive 10,000 residential housing units for workers. One of the projects being developed in Abuja, the nation's capital, sits on 443 hectares of land and is in partnership with the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria and the developer Rock of Ages Property PLC.
In terms of housing, where I have a lot of passion for, in this country we know that not only country, globally, after the food and water we take, air is very, very free. Shelter is very, very important, because without good shelter, definitely you have problems. You are exposed to the weather. And we've been able to partner with our development partner, Good Homes, to construct. Already we've constructed close to 2,000 right now, and our projection is 10,000 housing units in Abuja alone. And on a land of about over 400 hectares given to us by the Ministry of Federal Capital Development Authority. So we thank the federal government for that. Beyond that, we also have partnership with the Federal Mortgage Bank, where we, myself, TUC, NLC, NECA, and the Federal Mortgage Bank have been delivering some housing estates to our members across the states of the Federation. We also have projects that we are doing on our own, some of our members through their own cooperative that we encourage them to do. We support them through also the use of mortgages from the Federal Mortgage Bank across the country.
The housing units are to be developed within a 443 hectare land that is in three configurations: the high density areas, the low density areas, and the medium density areas. So it will have 2 and 3 bedroom apartments, it will have semi-detached and terrace duplexes, it will have standalone houses, and it will also have a complement of hospitals, school, police stations, gas stations, and other recreational activities, markets, and every other infrastructure that will make it to be a district. So it's within 443 hectares of land.
It is to the credit of Kaigama that the TUC Women Commission gained great visibility and became a force to be reckoned with among the other commissions of other labor centers in Nigeria.
He has been a pillar of support to the Women Commission. That is one of the reasons during our last delegate conference, he was given an award as a pillar. Because it was when he came on board that it is into his tenure, not immediately when he started, but into the middle of his tenure, he was able to realize that a commission can't just be set aside without money. So about 4 years ago, we started being given money. It may not be much, but he was the person that braced it and said, okay, for Women Commission, to my best knowledge, when I came on board 6 years ago, there was no budgetary allocation, there was no source of income for the Women Commission, but he was able to brace it and start approving something for us to run. And that one has really encouraged the Women Commission to be more visible.
The outgoing president has been like a father to women. He is very sensitive when it comes to women's issues, to fight a just cause. So there shouldn't be any gender discrimination, and I think that is what he has impacted or improved on, during his tenure.
He has impacted so much, not just in me, but in all of us. We will miss him. He's very intelligent. He's always there. He's always been there to ask for our rights, and we have always been getting our rights under his leadership. He's a great man. All we have to say to him is, even when he bows out, he should always honor our call.
The day-to-day administration of the TUC is carried out by the National Secretariat, which is headed by the Secretary General, assisted by the Deputy Secretary General, departmental heads, and other staff.
I've had the opportunity of working with different presidents. But working with Kaigama has been very pleasant and very tasking. For one, he's a man after details. And you will not work well with him if you don't have details of whatever you want to present to him. And there are principles that he has grown with, which he also tries as much as possible to pass to us. For example, if you are presenting a financial request, you must also back up with the source to get that money from. Otherwise, you can't get his signature. In other words, for him to approve anything for you, you must also provide for him, side by side, the source of the money you are looking for, or from what account and what is the balance there. He's very strict on that, and he doesn't play with it. Then, exactly, he also likes a situation where at any time you are up to date with the information that he requires from you. He can't stand you blabbing when he's asking a question about anything concerning the union. In other words, 24 hours you are on preparation ground when you are working with President Kaigama. Because as he's asking a question, he expects the answer to be correct, and it's not there for you to do test ground for him. You must have the answer. If you can't have the answer, then you are in trouble. In other words, he's tough but pleasant. He's also a very humanistic person because he can also see your personal problem as his, but the job must be done.
The immediate past president of the TUC, Peter Esele, known to have brought vibrancy and proactive leadership style to the Congress, affirms his successor, Bobboi Bala Kaigama, truly continued in his stead.
He has done well because, first of all, he's been there for 6 years. Normally, we say that if you get a second term, it means a validation of what you've done in the first term. So if he didn't do well, he won't get his second term. And then there are other areas that I think he has also made progress in places like Abuja, where we are having an estate being built, or almost a city for Nigerian workers and friends of Nigerian workers too. And I think that accommodation is also going to be, it's not going to be as expensive as all others that you have in Abuja. I think on that score, he has done very well. Another aspect of what I would say Bobboi Kaigama have done very well is the relationship between the TUC and the Nigerian Labour Congress in fighting for the common interests of the Nigerian workers. Before I became president, there was friction between NSA and TUC. They don't see eye to eye. But when I came on board, the first thing I did was, no, in the spirit of common interest, that we live together, we die together. Whatever affects a worker in NSC also affects the same worker in TUC. So why don't we partner? And Bobboi Kaigama has continued in that direction. And in those, you see certain aspects of it. I will highlight two of the several joint efforts between TUC and NSC, which President Kaigama did, was the anti-corruption campaign. That was also carried out in conjunction with Nigerian Labour Congress. They went around the country and they had a rally in Abuja. The second was the issue of the national minimum wage. The national minimum wage, both sides agreed, sat down, negotiated, and also agreed on how much they think should be okay for the average worker. And finally, the federal government said all they could pay was 30,000 naira, and they both still went ahead with it. I think for me, that is also a tradition I expect whoever will succeed Bobboi Kaigama to continue on. In every administration, there are always pluses and minuses. But I think he has a lot of pluses going for him. And I'm hoping that whoever will take over from him will not deal with the minuses. The areas of TUC having a befitting secretariat, I think that will come for the next administration.
Kaigama recollects his foray into international trade union movement, particularly where he served in the Standards Committee of the International Labour Organization.
I partake fully in our conferences in ILO. My union being member of the Uni Global, that I also partake fully. And you know, the Trade Union Congress has also just joined the World Trade Union Federation. So we're actively involved in global trade union activities, and we hope that as we are giving way, we are passing the baton to our colleagues, they will be able to maintain this and ensure that we benefit fully from this global trade union bodies.
The last 6 years of his administration has, however, not been a smooth ride, as different challenges dogged his path to achieving the objectives set out by the TUC.
We are the primary institution that is in charge of the financial institution workers. So we have issues, like there have been a lot of casualization, there have been a lot of job loss, there have been a lot of banks, some few banks going down, and the union in charge of the financial sector did all within this sector to make sure that our members, even those that are laid off, that due process was followed. But where we have not been able to do a lot, that we need the assistance of our mother labor center, TUC, it has been of help to us. It was during his regime that we are in recession. It was during his regime that even the financial sector went the way of TSA. It was during his regime that we have a lot of insecurities and in the country that affected all workers. But I know that all he could do within his power, within the period, he did, and he did well.
The challenges we had were so enormous. The challenges of having to increase fuel, we all remember that. There was this issue of fuel increase right from the inception of this administration. And we have to engage government on whether to bring it down or not. Even at the time the country slide into depression or recession, if we call it, and at the end of the day, a lot of workers were supposed to lose their job, and we have to engage government and different employers of labor on how to safeguard our members, so our members will not lose their job. In as much as we are on, the country was in serious crisis then. So these strides which the union have taken upon its hand, we were able to engage government, and we succeeded. Based on the agreement, every 5 years we have a new minimum wage, but it was not like that. After it has expired in 2016, we need to engage government and discuss excessively before finally now we have arrived at the figure 30,000, which have been approved by Mr. President.
it was also a task for TUC alongside NSC. So all this is also boiled down to welfare of our members. So we engage all that and engage all these items, and we will successfully achieve them.
These notwithstanding, Kaigama, during his tenure, built a robust relationship with the social partners in the labor movement and carved a niche for himself as a servant leader with a foresight and vision that has left the union strong in promoting and safeguarding the social and economic welfare of its members.
I think they are partners in progress, and particularly under his regime, we have consolidated the partnership. Workers' issues are the same. And you remember the call that was made as far back as 1883, when the first May Day happened, that what will it cost workers to unite around the world? Because capital is consolidating. And therefore we cannot, as workers, as unions, allow any division. So clearly it's understanding that principle, the two of us. He has understood that principle very well, and myself. And you can see that we have worked very harmoniously, with respect, with dignity, and we have been able to make sure that labor unity is consolidated, particularly on all the campaigns we have had in all the states. You can see back there the campaign we had in Imo. We provided leadership, and in most cases we ensure that the usual divide and rule tactics by employers is actually eliminated. So clearly I think I'm going to miss his companion, but also he has exhibited a lot of wisdom because of the fact that in every issue that we want to engage, we usually consult each other, and his advice and words of wisdom I think is very legendary. And this is the type of labor leaders that are actually required. He's also selfless because unlike labor leaders that will think that labor is just to make ourselves very comfortable, he's one person that have actually forget about comfort and think only about the welfare of our members and welfare of his members.
Since Comrade Bobboi Kaigama has been in the saddle of leadership, the relationship has blossomed and has been very, very highly rewarding to both institutions, that is to both NECA and TUC, and to our constituents, that's employers of labor as well as to the workers that they lead. And how is this so? Number one, TUC under the leadership of Kaigama has been able to work closely with NECA on deepening industrial harmony in the private sector of the economy. It is very, very important to note that during his tenure, there are several issues that will have led to crisis situation that has been nipped in the bud or averted because of his dynamic way of engaging employers to resolve issues informally, even before it snowballed into crisis. All in all, I think it's been a wonderful 6 years in the saddle under Bobboi Kaigama, and we can only wish him the very best in his future endeavors.
For us in the ILO, Trade Union Congress remains a very important social partner. And we must say that we've cherished the relationship that we've had with Trade Union Congress for the last 6 years under the stewardship of Comrade Kaigama. We understand the challenges that workers have faced in this country, but without the leadership of comrades such as Comrade Kaigama, the struggle, as it's commonly known, have been a bit more difficult. Comrade Kaigama has been very open in his leadership with both ourselves as the partner, but also with his affiliates, because I think in as far as the ILO is concerned,
we are also very insistent on the observance of good corporate governance within trade union federations. So we are very pleased with how Comrade Kaigama has run the Trade Union Congress. The Trade Union Congress has been receptive of the workers' needs. The Trade Union Congress has always represented the workers' needs in the social dialogue forums, in various social dialogue forums, in a manner that is exemplary, in a manner that is open and transparent, to the extent that the Trade Union Congress in Nigeria stands out as one of the major representative organizations of workers in this country. What has been also very, for us, which has been very impressive, is the fact that Comrade Kaigama has worked very well with his colleagues in the Nigerian Labour Congress. As you know, currently there are two centers, the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress. And unlike in some other countries where the trade union federations do not work together, Comrade Kaigama has worked very well with Comrade Bobboi in the common interest to ensure that decent work is promoted and decent work is observed for the Nigerian workers.
No doubt, a roadmap has been set out for the next administration, and for Bobboi Bala Kaigama, it is not only a wish, but a hope that as it bows out, it would be for the Trade Union Congress, forward ever and backward never.
I have built a very solid foundation, making sure that the structures are put in place, making sure that we build courses on what our previous leaders have done. So it is going to be like a kind of passing on the baton for this our dictum that Aluta continua, Victoria Asata. You don't know when the victory will come, but the struggle continues. Forward!